Your win as a coach, What does that feel like?
It feels better than last week.
What was the biggest improvement from last week to this week that you noticed?
Well, our quality of play went up big time. This looked more like the way we've been training. Last week was a bit of an anomaly for us. We just got rattled, never settled back down, couldn't connect passes, and simple passes we were passing away. We went long, under pressure every time. In this game, a lot of the time we tried to play. We used Hope more to build from the back. We used our center backs more building out of the back. So we got into the midfield in better shape and positioning, and then got in the final third in much better shape and positioning.
And then Hope was mentioning that she felt like the communication was better out there on the field. Would you second that as well?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, we're basically 3 days into maybe the fourth week together. So through film, through repeated, exposure to different things, different asks, different dialogue than they're used to, that I think they're starting to be able to generate that themselves rather than hearing that from someone else and then trying to do what they're supposed to do. It's becoming a part of how they do things, and I think it has to become the players, because soccer is very much a player's game. There's no timeouts, there's no way to really reorganize, so they've got to be able to make all those critical decisions and run a play. And so I think over time it'll just keep getting better and better.
After that goal, I know you didn't seem to get any momentum out of that, and Hope talked about the communication on the field helping with that. Do you have anything to add to that? Or?
Yeah, I think obviously it was a defensive breakdown on our part, and we left ourselves really exposed. If you do that enough times, you're definitely going to get scored on. So I think they did a good job finishing and capitalizing on our mistake. But I think overall we were much more in control of the game, and I think that feeds into the players' confidence and ability to be resilient in moments like that, because those things happen in every game. The momentum shifts for a second, and you've got to get it back as fast as possible.
Well, just can you take us through the play?
It wouldn't have happened without Liv, so her great ball. I saw it coming in and had to get a touch on it.
How do you feel after?
It feels great.
Yeah. And just
nothing better.
And just the importance of it. To take a 2-goal lead and create some separation. How did you feel like that kind of changed the game?
It definitely kicked the tempo up of the game, and it felt great.
What was the conversation like once NAU got on the board and made it a 1-point game there?
I'm sorry?
What was the conversation like on the field when NAU got their first goal and made it a 1-point game? It seemed like you guys were...
Yeah, we had to keep playing our game. We couldn't knock down. We couldn't let them get their momentum up and get another goal and tie it up.
What's been the biggest improvement from last week to this week that you've seen there out on the field?
I'd say we connected a lot better than last week. Last week we were just all chaos, but we trained really hard this week to connect with each other, and I think we executed it really well.
How has your role changed this season? I know you started a lot last year.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you doing differently?
Becca has really helped me with the tiny fundamentals, so that's really what I'm working on this season. Last season it was more pressing for me, so that's what I'm working on.
And for Kayden to score that early goal and coming off that loss, how important was that just to kind of set the tone in this match?
It was super important, especially the first goal of the match, so that was great that she could do that for us.
First career goal, what did it feel like to come up with that goal?
It felt really good, especially to be the first goal of the game. It really set the tone for the rest of the game and hopefully the rest of the season.
Can you just take us through the play? What did you see on the play?
I saw the ball coming in, and we had been practicing set pieces a lot during practice this week, so I knew where I needed to be, and I was in the right place at the right time to get a body part on it.
And just from a team perspective, how important was it to score first, especially you lost last week, just to take a lead early in the game?
Yeah, to take the lead early in the game definitely set the tone for the rest of the game, and definitely hyped me up and the rest of my teammates also.
What do you feel was the biggest improvement from last week to this week for the team?
Our biggest improvement was our connectedness on the field and being able to pass to each other successfully, and everyone was on the same page.
Were there any specific things that were said after NAU scored their first goal to kind of keep you guys, going and pushing forward to get the win tonight?
Yeah, winning tonight was important for us because coming off last week, it was really necessary for the rest of the season that we got a win tonight, especially at our home opener.
How much have you been working on set pieces? Hope was just mentioning you guys were working on that a lot, and just to kind of see that come to fruition in a game like that.
Yeah, it was definitely gratifying to see all our hard work come together.
What did you think of Hope, the way some of the saves that she made?
I went crazy for her on the sideline when she made that first save. I was really happy for her.
And what was the post-game message?
The post-game message was how important this was for us and that it set the tone for how the rest of the season's going to go for us.
What's that like having the basketball team there right by the goal cheering you guys on?
It was great. I love all their support, and I'll definitely do the same for them when they're in season.
And just in general, I mean, this was your first home game with fans. I mean, what was the atmosphere like?
It was great to have fans back. They definitely helped the atmosphere and encouraged me and my teammates as well.
Obviously, we made some mistakes here and there, some things didn't work right, but we're all about taking baby steps into achieving our eventual goal, which is playing like how we are when we're at our best all the time.
And late in the match, there were a few mistakes that they took advantage of, but they didn't seem to get a lot of momentum from that goal. So what was going right in those moments after they scored?
I think we had good leadership out on the field. I know I was hearing Jill talking, I was hearing Sabs talking, I myself was talking after that goal, just making sure we calmed down, realized that's a one-off, that's not how the game was going. When we play our way, good things happen, and so just calming the game down from that perspective. I think in the midfield, Maddie Grolinger did a good job of doing that.
Could you take us through the save when you came off your line?
Yeah, I mean, that's happened a couple times in my career, and I think one of my biggest advantages as a goalkeeper is that I'm really aggressive. So I just thought it's time for me to be big, be aggressive, and so I laid my whole body out and made the save. And those were the hardest saves to make, but our new goalkeeper coach Brian has us work on 1v1s like every week because they are the hardest thing to do. And when you're good at analyzing them and reading them right, then the rest of the game comes a lot easier to you.
Just as a team, I mean, how important was it to get that early goal and just to be playing with the lead, and especially because you guys you lost last week, and just to kind of get some of that confidence?
No, it was really great, especially to see our corner kicks and the type of thing we want to do off that, see that be executed. And obviously we've had trouble scoring goals the past couple games, but to get that one in and to kind of get a lead under our belt, it was nice, and I think that momentum carried us through the rest of the game.
Do you think that there is better communication out there from game 1 to game 2 and learning this new system?
Absolutely. I think that this game we were much more calm and confident as a team, and that showed in our leaders being able to communicate and make sure everyone's on the same page. So again, those people I talked about before about their leadership out in the field, I think that really came to light today.